The supporters of channel member A11 Scorpio 1996. Look, I don't get many opportunities to laugh at other teams as part of this series. We're not yet playing at the level of Spurs, but as a Peterborough fan, wearing the shiny new Peterborough United shirt, it is an absolute pleasure to be playing Northampton today in the National League with us above them in said league. What a time to be alive. Hello and welcome to part 81 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have that game against Northampton, plus we're away against Gillingham. It's mad, really, even as a posh fan. And as much as I want to laugh at Northampton, it is mad that they're two non-league games we're talking about. We're playing Northampton and Gillingham. These are huge matches. And since you were last with me, we've almost figured out how to sometimes win. As you can see, just the 2 wins since the last episode. We've not gone bonkers. We've lost more games than we've lost more than half our games. We got comfortably dumped out of the FA Cup. No cup run for us this year. But those couple of wins and a draw are enough to have us on the Kev ratio. It's the first time we've had to mention the Kev ratio in this series. 16 points from 16 games. If we end the season with as many points as games we've played, we will survive. That's how the Kev ratio works. And as you can see, it's enough to have us 19th in the league at the moment. And 19th in the league would be absolutely delightful when all is said and done. Almost as delightful as seeing Northampton about to get relegated to the National League North or South or whichever one they'd end up in. Who knows? I, for one, very eager to learn whether they'll be in the National League North or South. Transfer-wise, we've managed to move Joe Lowe out of the club on loan. Never should have renewed this guy's contract, but when we were going to be playing with 3 centre-backs, it made sense for us to have 6. Makes a lot less sense now we're only playing with 2. So we've managed to send him out on loan. Salisbury are paying, I think, 80% of his salary. 80 or 90, 95% of his £120 a week. So it gets him off of the wage bill and allowed us to go out and sign a new player, which unfortunately wasn't a winger or a striker because we couldn't find one, but we did find somebody good to play as the holding midfielder. Malachi Robinson, formerly of Ebbsfleet and Woking and Stalybridge Celtic. Lots of experience at this level or the level just below, and can sit nicely at the base of the midfield in that deep-lying playmaker role, and has been doing a pretty decent job of it since arriving. Played every game since the last episode with an incredible rating of 6.64. He looks better in the match engine than he does on the rating there. I mean, yeah, he really does. I promise he does. So we are still in a situation of needing some attacking players, although all 3 strikers we've got at the club are playing pretty much every match now. Seamus Bonis has forced his way into the team on the left-hand side of midfield, and how could he not, with an average rating of 6.41 and no goals in 10 matches. And also Callum Larkin, who we signed to play as our striker, has actually scored 5 goals. So it's, 9 goal contributions from 13 starts isn't actually that bad. I'm laughing at him, but they're not far off Tom Best numbers. 6.93, not so good. And of course, Callum McLennan actually with a lower return. So you could argue Larkin has been our best attacker this season, which would be a strange argument when none of them really have been any good. On the topic of Tom Best, wouldn't we all love to... He's a free agent again. Now, we tried to sign him in the summer when he was at Felixstowe and he didn't want to join for us. Oh, Tom, can you imagine? He wants to do... He's going to... Oh, Tom Best's coming back. We can't afford him. No! Are we over budget again? Oh, come on, board. Please let me have some more money. I need to sign Tom Best. Increase wage budget. Why did we sign that useless midfield player? Who can we bin off to let us bring Tom Best home? Is there anyone we can... Have we got any non-contract players? We have. Hold on. No, they're loans. In other news, there is potentially another takeover happening in the process of a board takeover. It's only a year since the last one. We can't offer Tom Best a contract currently, but we'll be able to soon if he doesn't sign for anybody. Who's he? Bishop Stortford. Can we take him on trial? Can we have a 4-week trial? Just get Tom Best around the place, I think is the key. We have to walk away from that. If we can get him in on a 4-week trial, I think that would be lovely just to have Tom Best knocking around the place. Get him in a mentoring group. Can you get someone who's on trial in a mentoring group? Get him in a mentoring group with these two. Oh, things could start to happen. So this is our team for the game against Northampton. We've got Perini in goal, a back four of Salinas, Carter, McCormick and Hayball. We are playing Hayball at right back again. Robinson at the base of midfield with Young and Bolin ahead of him. Bonnis on the left, Larkin on the right, McLennan up front. It's the tamest front three you ever have seen in a game of professional football. But you know what? It's fine. As long as we hit the Kev ratio, and today, for me personally, as long as we deal with Northampton, I cannot sit here in a Peterborough United shirt, snazzy as it is. Look at it, it's a lovely shirt. It's a map of Peterborough in the background of it. It's even a proper embroidered badge. There have been transfers the last few years. It's a proper badge this year as well. That bit's still a transfer, but that's a proper badge. It's a lovely shirt, but I can't wear this playing against Northampton in non-league and then lose. That'd just be very, very upsetting. So if we could do it for my boys in blue, please, that would be absolutely delightful. Nothing is happening. There is absolutely nothing going on. We've hit half an hour into this match. There has not been a highlight. Where's my coffee? I feel like I need a beverage. Yes, that's a picture of myself on my own mug. Are you telling me you don't have pictures of your own face on your own mugs? You're weird if that's the case. Delicious. And there has been nothing happen. Oh no, hold on. We've got a free kick just before half time. We've won a penalty. Oh my word. Absolutely. Can we even say it's against the run of play? There's been no play. We've seen no highlights, but nearly 48 minutes on the clock. McLennan steps up to take the penalty in front of all of these adoring fans. And we have gone 1-0 up. Wembley 1, Northampton 0. It gets worse for the Wobblers. Lovely, lovely, lovely. 1-0 to Wembley. And this actually puts us ahead of the Kev ratio. If we can end this, look at us, the giddy heights of 17th place. Again, well, look at the teams we're surrounded by. Accrington, Shrewsbury, Torquay. This is non-league. What on earth must League 2 look like? Because this is absolutely bonkers, some of the teams that we've got down at this level. I mean, I know I'm enjoying mocking Northampton, but they shouldn't be here either. It's mad. We might have to have a little look. Part of me wants to wait for it to be a surprise for when we eventually hit League 2, just to see some of the mad teams that have made it up there. But this is what happens when you start on a tier 10 database and take forever to make it to the Football League. We gave this game so many years of having all of those lower leagues loaded that it's allowed some strange things to happen, clearly, which is fine. I don't mind a strange thing happening here and there. There you go. We're going to shuffle a few things around. Young has played a few matches as the inside forward on that left-hand side recently. The one thing all of the shuffling around of the tactic has done, which is probably a little bit harsh, Scowen, who was part of the midfield three and one of our best players last year, was forced out into the left wing when we first changed the tactics. We didn't have anyone else who could play there. And then when we shuffled back to a tactic that he could fit into, he's never really made it back into the team. And it is a little bit harsh on him because there's now like 5-6 positions he could be playing in. He's not even on the bench today. Goodness me, I hope he's injured. But Scowen's kind of dropped off a cliff for us. Right, we had no highlights again in the second half, but it's now the 89th minute and we have got another one here and we're playing it out to Hayball, who, remember, has a little bit of Cambridge in him. Former Cambridge boy, another one of Posh's rivals, and Larkin gives the ball away very comfortably. And now if Northampton can come away here and grab themselves an equaliser late on, that would be quite heartbreaking. Salinas plays it forward to Young. Young ran straight into his player, and I don't really know why this is a highlight unless Northampton are going up the other end and scoring, and they absolutely don't deserve it. They have not had an attacking highlight in the entire match. 89th minute, boys and girls, their first highlight. Of course, that's how they score their goal. Oh, relegation battles are super duper fun, aren't they? I don't want to see the hideous replay of it. Why would I? Offer the boys some encouragement. Somebody do something. Have we got anyone who can do us a winner? I feel like I'd like a winner. We've been robbed there. They had one highlight. To be fair, so did we. But idiots. At least we're still above them in the league, though. And importantly, still on the Kev ratio. 17 games played, 17 points on the board. We have made it a little bit harder for ourselves, though, because away against Gillingham is going to be a tough game. And Now we need to not lose that to stay on the Kev ratio. Now, this episode is in danger of becoming very Peterborough heavy. If you're from Peterborough, I hope you're having a lovely time. But this just came up in my news reports that Stand Ground Sports had made it through, I guess, to the first round of the FA Cup. They've made it through to the second round of the FA Cup. And I was like, are you serious? Stand Ground Sports? That's like a pub team on the outskirts of Peterborough. And you can see at the start of the game, they're down in the Peterborough and District League Premier Division. This is what I mean about the madness that can happen with a Tier 10 database. They were in Tier 11 at the start of the save, but they are now all the way up to Tier 7. That is the league below the National League South. Not only that, 5 years ago, they had the Stand Ground Sports Stadium built for them in Peterborough, a 12,500 all-seater stadium. Unless Posh have had a new ground, that's going to be the best and biggest stadium in Peterborough, and Stand Ground Sports are playing in it in Tier 7. I've checked, and they've not had a tycoon. Not only that, as you can see, they were in administration. They've done what we did. They've scrapped their youth setup. How have they got a 12,500 capacity stadium? Are they filling it? They're obviously not filling it. Why have they built that stadium? Here's us not able to get a ground. This lot have built a ground good enough for the championship. And they've got one season ticket holder. I want to meet that man. Oh, my word. And I don't understand why this exists. I want a fancy ground and an administration off the back of it. And one season ticket holder. I moan about me finding it hard. This lot are in the second round of the FA Cup. I'm no Ryan Frater, and I think we've all come to understand that now. Right, just the one change for the Gillingham game. I am bringing in the forgotten man, Blaine Scowen, because it just is a little bit harsh that look at the different positions I've made this boy play in over the course of this season. Again, he is a victim of his own versatility, but he's been a key player for us for years. Let's get him back in the team, and hopefully he can offer the spirit of Wembley and help us beat Gillingham, which is no tall order. I mean, an away game to Gillingham is always a tough one because their ground is horrible to get out of. It's one of these new grounds that's kind of out of town and only has one road to and from it, and it gets quite busy. Presumably, there's not many fans turning up now they're playing in the National League, so it might be a little bit easier to get in and out now, but it's a horrible away day. And yeah, I don't know what point I was making there. I'm sure it was an insightful one, though. I still haven't finished that cup of coffee I was talking about before. Scowen lumps it forward looking for McLennan. Little does he realise it was McLennan who laid it off for him, so obviously he wasn't there. And now Bonnis looks like a tall boy. He's also lumping it forward. Right, what are we doing? Why are we lumping the ball forward? How tall is he? 6'1". Maybe he should be playing centre forward. The only problem is, as we saw before, he's really not very good at anything like football related, which is, I mean, it's not ideal for a professional footballer. If I could swap him for Tom Best, goodness me, I would. By the way, he didn't come in on trial, wasn't interested, so that was nice. McLennan plays it out, looking for Habel, misses him completely, and Habel's now massively out of position because he's gone charging forward on the overlap. The way he does, it's what he's supposed to do, but, I mean, there's going to be people blaming Habel for being out of position there. I absolutely blame McLennan for the absolutely shocking pass that has caused that entire problem. And because of it, we're 1-0 down. We're going to go attacking. We're going to demand more. And I just wish we had any other attacking options, and we really don't. Maybe we need to give Larkin a run playing as centre forward, because McLennan, as I expected, McLennan just can't cut it at this level. And at least Larkin is producing a goal return, albeit from the right-hand side, but we could maybe put Larkin up front. Scowen can play everywhere. Presumably he can play right wing. Yeah, Scowen could go out onto the right wing. Get him out there as well. And maybe get McLennan out. Even not necessarily forever, just give him a little bit of a rest, because he's not been playing very well, yet he's having to play every single match as our lone striker. And you saw there, his performances are leaving a little to be desired. And now Gillingham charging forward on the counter-attack. I mean, they absolutely should have scored there. I don't quite know how they've missed, but we do somehow get the ball clear, and it's Larkin trying to get a counter-attack of our own going. He's looked ahead of him at the two clowns attacking with him, though, and understandably doesn't really know who to give it to. It's Bonis, who actually forces the corner, does quite well. And now we've got the chance to get the ball into the area where, unfortunately, we don't have that big aerial threat this year that we had last year. Goodness me, could we use it? But that's a good corner. And Carter did have space at the far post, but unfortunately couldn't make proper contact with it. Did manage to get us our 0.05 XG. So we're off the scoreboard as far as XG concerned. And now in the National League, we've got a professional team doing a short corner against us. And I hate every part of it. Absolutely despise it. And this is, they shouldn't be allowed to be full time at this level. It's horrible. And I don't really know what to do to inspire a performance out of this team other than shuffling around the way I just suggested we could shuffle around. So let's have a look at the potential shufflees. If we put Larkin up front and put Scowen out there, it does mean taking off McLennan, but we have got plenty of options for central midfield. I mean, Matthews has played well in this role previously. Bolin could probably do, I don't know, he could be a Mazzala just there. We don't really have a ball winner if we do this, but we know Matthews can be really effective bursting out of central midfield. So maybe we try that and we give Larkin the opportunity to play, maybe not even as the poacher, play him as an advanced forward and see if he can put himself around a bit and maybe create some chances for himself or those around him, like Scowen, like Matthews. Don't bother with him. Just, there's not really a lot of point at creating chances for him. But the others, try and create some chances for them. McLennan is probably flabbergasted that he's been brought up and Bonis is still on the pitch, but he's got the massive advantage of being able to play on the left wing. McLennan can only play centre forward. So when we want to change up the centre forward, we have no option really but to take him off and try somebody else there. But it is Gillingham. There's not even under any kind of pressure in possession there. They just were able to run it around and pick their spot. I think it's been disallowed for offside, but there's absolutely no attempt to press them from our players there, which is alarming. As a man who loves gegenpress, the way I love gegenpress, part of me wonders if it's time to just wheel it out. But the thing is, trying to gegenpress, and believe me, I want to. The moment I feel like I could get away with it, it's coming. Don't you worry. I just don't think we can do it as a part-time team in a full-time league. I think we're just, and with such a small squad, I think we're just asking to ruin ourselves. It'll be the injury crisis to top all injury crises if we try and gegenpress. So we're not. It's coming. As soon as we go full-time, that's going to be the cue to switch to something much more high tempo. But for now, we're just going to have to make do doing what we've been doing up until this point and getting frustrated in situations like this where they just have so much time to pick their man and then ruin us. I just want to see some players running around like headless chickens. That's all I want. Run around like maniacs. Come on, make it look like you're trying. Larkin, just put some pressure on the ah! I hate managing part-time teams in full-time leagues. It is the most, I was going to say it's the worst thing in Football Manager. It's not. It's still not as bad as international management, but it gets quite close because you just feel so powerless at times because of the extra oomph that everyone else has got. Well, then. We've fallen below the Kev ratio. There's no need to celebrate like that against us. That was pathetic. He should be booked for that. On his knees, flat on his back, arms in the air. We are the most toothless excuse for a football team he's ever played against. And he's celebrating like he's just scored a winner in the Champions League final. Send him off for it. It was pathetic. Oh, my word. Can we go and try and beat the traffic out of this horrible stadium now? Yeah, have your third. Why not? Where's my mug with my face on again? Let's cheer myself up with this. Cheers, everybody. At least the coffee's good. We've not had a shot on target. Won't somebody find me an attacking player that is willing to play for us completely for free? Or we've got to clear out some players and make room for somebody because this can't go on. our lack of any kind of firepower is going to cost us a spot in this league. And at times, it actually feels like we might just be good enough to stay in this league. We were moments away from beating Northampton. We were never going to beat Gillingham away. But we have won some matches. We're not pathetic. We just feel like it sometimes. Oh, and I did all that in this beautiful new shirt. Rubbish. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.